Hello everyone. Today I'll be discussing another IELTS speaking test. I'm continuously practicing on this because there are a lot of questions like this, so it's easy to answer these questions and thus I can improve myself. So I'm trying to practice speaking on this. So let's go directly to the questions. First, it's definitely introduce yourself. My name is I have been living in Dubai for the past 5 years. I'm an Indian. I belong to the southern part of India. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in engineering. My major was electronics and communication engineering. I also have a master's degree in business administration with a major in human resource management. And I have worked at Thomson Reuters and also at Nasdaq for almost 5 years. So as a research analyst. My family is a nuclear family consisting of my husband and my daughter. My daughter is taking online classes at home, so I have taken a break from my career. And uh, about my hobbies, like love to do shopping, and also I spend my leisure time chatting with some of my friends. How often do you see your neighbors? If you ask the neighbors here at present, I do not know who lives next door because after this pandemic I really avoid going out. I have seen them now and then, but I do not even say a hello because they are not our nation and not from our nation, and they do not get so mingle, they do not mingle so much, and I do not go to mingle with them. So I see them rarely, maybe once in a week, or sometimes nowadays it's rare, more than that, it's once in a month. Do you invite your neighbors to your home? Here, as we are in a different nation, I do not invite anybody. But if it's in our country, we invite our neighbors for functions, for birthday celebrations, for festivals. Sometimes we celebrate all together. There, most of the people who are our neighbors are mostly they are relatives, and we do not feel much a difference when compared to the situation here. Here it's they're from different nation, their culture is different, so we are not comfortable enough to invite them to our home. Do you think that you are a good neighbor? I do not think so, because normally neighbors should be helping each other, caring about each other. But in my case, I am not a good neighbor because I never care about who lives next door. I do not go out often. When children keeps playing here, I sometimes I go and ask them to keep their volume low because when they run here and there, they make a lot of noise. So if I'm good neighbor, maybe I would engage with them a lot. I'm not a good neighbor. I accept that I'm not a good neighbor. Has a neighbor ever helped you? Not particularly, but when I was in need once, when I did not know where I need to go to your place, and I was tensed. So because I do not know where the exact location is, so when I was there, I went to go downstairs. I took the lift, and I saw a neighbor in the lift, and when I asked her, she enthusiastically explained about the route to take, so it was quite easy for me. So there are people who help each other in such needs, but there are it's not quite frequent, that's all. There are people who help. Now we are going to part 2. Describe a very difficult task that you succeeded in doing as part of your work or studies. You should say what task you did, why this task was very difficult, how you worked on this task, explain how you felt when you had successfully completed the task. I would like to explain a task, a part of the work which we did earlier in the early days of my career. When we started working on a product, we were given a deadline, and the amount of data that is to be entered or that is to be delivered is quite huge than the normal capability of the candidate. So we planned on completing it before the deadline, because that plays a major role in getting new sales for the product. So in order to achieve the deadline, we prioritized the task. I mean, we divided the task to different people, to different teams. We gave each each of them a target, and we made them complete it before they leave from the office. But when we were reaching nearer to the deadline, we still thought that we were not able to we were not going to complete the complete the target, which was needed to be completed. So in that time we asked the people to stay overtime. So we were I was part of the people who stayed overtime. I worked overtime till 3 to 4 hours per day overtime than the normal working hours. And we completed it. We are very glad that we completed it on time. I mean, before the deadline, and we were able to deliver the successful product to the client. So the client was happy, and we were given all the employees of the company were given a good amount as bonus, and we were all happy about that. We celebrated the occasion when we were able to reach, that was the goal we set for us, and when we were able to reach the goal, we really felt so delighted. And every employee of the company was very proud of that. Even today, when we talk about the history of a company, it definitely counts. So we are going to the part 3, discussion topics. Difficult jobs. What are the most difficult jobs that people do? uh, there are two different kind of jobs. One is blue collar and white collar, according to me. In blue collar jobs, they do not need much mental pressure, but the physical labor involved, muscular power that they need to complete a task is very very high than compared to the work that is involved in a work in a company. So in that case, according to me, I cannot do the job that is done by the normal people who are out working in the broad sunlight with all the heavy equipments, heavy weapons. I cannot do that work. According to me, I consider the work that we do inside an office to be more easier than the work that the people do outside, when construct in construction sites or outside. I mean the broad day sunlight. So I consider those jobs difficult, more difficult. Why do you think some people choose to do difficult jobs? Some people, they did not have an option. Some people, they opt for an outside sales job because they did not get a job to stay indoors and do that. They did not get a chance to stay indoors and do that job. So outdoor sales is also one of the toughest job, I would say. They going from place to place, traveling, it involves a lot of energy. So some people are interested in doing the job, meeting people and talking to them and convincing them. But some people are forced to do that job. They choose to do that job because they might be interested in the sales, or but some people are really forced. People like working as mason, building construction workers, they are all forced to do the job because they do not get the required qualification, educational qualification in their childhood. So they do not have an option to opt for any other kind of jobs. Do you agree or disagree that all jobs are difficult sometimes? Definitely, definitely, because when it comes to any work, it has some manual work, and sometimes some work are difficult to physical difficulty will be there. But for some works there will be mental difficulty. The pressure that they have to face is much higher than the people who are doing the physical labor work. So every job has its own difficulty. It's not very easy to do any job. Now jobs are easy. Every job requires a particular skill to complete it, and requires a lot of energy to complete it. So in one, if to say it in one side, all the jobs are difficult sometimes. Not all the time, sometimes they are difficult. How important is it for everyone to have a goal in their personal life? To move forward with our life further, we really need a goal. Without a goal, we really will not be doing anything. Sitting, I was taking myself as an example. I was sitting at home taking care of my kid for last 6 years. I For this last 6 years I did not have a goal, but now I think of moving forward with my career. When I have this goal, I am trying myself to improve myself. So until this time, I did not feel the need for improving myself, but now I really need. When I set a goal to work, to go to work after this pandemic, I really wanted to improve myself to go. So that goal made me to try some things to improve my communication skill, which I will be needing when I go to work. So everyone everyone should be having a goal in their personal life to move further, keep the life moving on. Yeah. Is it necessary, always necessary, to work hard in order to achieve career success? In my opinion, I should be working hard because I'm not a smart worker. I most of the time work really hard to show a great success in my career. But some people are really talented and they do smart works, and they do smart work rather than doing the hard work. So smart work will give them more success than, I mean, success. They will get the success. What earlier than the people who are doing hard works. So we should, it not always the case, we should be working harder, but the smart work will give us a greater success than doing the hard work alone. We should be doing both hard work and smart work so that we get the success that we are looking forward to. Do you think that successful people are always happy people? Successful people cannot be not all the successful people are happy, because some people, some highly successful people are ending their life with just mere suicide. So I would not agree with that statement, because many people who are really, we think that they are successful, are really having so many depression issues, mental issues. They even face problems in their family lives. So not all the successful people are happy, but happy people who try to, they are not successful either. The people who are happy with what they have are not completely successful. There are in both cases it's not the case. Some there are difficulties for happy people also, because they face financial crisis, and the successful people may not be having a financial problem, but they will be having personal problems. So there are in both cases there are difficulties. They are not, the successful people are not always the happy people, I would say. And thank you so much. I ended up replying to all the questions, but I'm not sure how far I have managed to answer the questions. It's not really an easy task to answer the questions all of a sudden. I did not revise the questions before answering now. I just straight away came to the question and just started answering, because that's how we can improve the prompt thinking that we need, right? So I did not practice for these questions earlier. So uh, if I want to improve myself, I didn't to, do not I need to do a live interaction, right? So if I practice earlier, that won't be like a live interaction. So that's why I did not practice anything earlier. I just came and just took the question from the internet and then started answering them straight away. Maybe you might be feeling it bored, but while answering these questions, I spoke for almost 10 minutes, right? So it's definitely helping me improve myself. So these are some things that you can do to help improve your communication. I'm not an expert. I'm just trying myself to come out of the comfort zone and start working on myself. Thank you so much if you listen to me, and thank you so much. And I apologize if I have wasted your time. I know that my videos are not worth listening to, but as I said, I want to see how far I'm improving in the next 100 videos. So I'll be doing this for a while. So if you want to see how I improve in the in the coming days, you can subscribe. But otherwise, if you're really willing to learn something, please subscribe to other good channels that are available in YouTube. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day.